Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am Keisha, and this is
Keisha, and welcome to
our girl chat. I missed saying it because I'm usually looking at you, I think, and I'm actually looking at the camera, and I was looking at you through the camera, and your face was so serious.
It always is, I think.
Yes, what
RBF for days.
Yeah. And so because of that, people think you're mean.
But people pass judgment all the time. I think it's like people's number one thing that they do. Judge.
Ooh, child. We done talked about judgment on here so much.
I'm not judging, but you're judging.
You know what get me when people say, I'm not trying to be whatever they're about to say after that? Yes, you are.
I say that, and I don't be trying to be, but my thing is I try to protect what I'm about to say to the other person.
Give me an example of what you would say. Like, I'm not trying to be what?
Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, because a lot of my conversations are straight no chaser. And I preface it with that because sometimes, like in my situation with what I do, people are looking to be coddled and looking for support. And I'm here to support, but I'm here to support you through your journey, not to keep you stagnant where you're at. And some people just want somebody to talk to, not be heard, not be helped. Literally, I just want these words to come out of my mouth to another human. So I do that sometimes, depending on, the situation.
Well, maybe it depends on the person's character. If they say, I don't mean to be, or I'm not trying to be, maybe it depends on the character of that person. Because I'm sure you said that to me, and I ain't probably think twice about it. Yeah, but I hear it so often, and then right after they'll come off of it is very mean or rude or judgy when something is said, and I'm like, so you are trying to be so, because that doesn't come off as very whatever, but yeah.
But I mean, most of the time when people say I don't judge, they're following it up with something that is a judgment.
Yeah.
It's like, I ain't trying to judge, or I don't judge nobody, but then they go into a statement that's literally judging what happens. I judge.
You like, but I judge.
It depends on the situation, though, because if somebody doing some dumb shit, I'm judging you for that dumb shit. But if someone is ignorant, and I don't mean that harshly, I mean that in the literal terms, like you don't know no better, my judgment is non-existent. Because you are from a place where you don't know what you don't know. And some things we know better. And I think of like, our friend shared a post on TikTok, and I was like, yeah, I'm judging, because I can't remember what it was, if the girl ate some dog food or whatever she did, but it was just like doing things like that to get views.
What was she really?
Okay, so I don't know what it was. I could be straight up lying right now, but it was something that was just like, yeah, I'm judging you because why are you doing that? And I mean, I had a client today that made like $57,000 as a TikTok creator. So I know that it's money out there to be made. The universe is abundant, but I'm not doing everything for $1.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree.
And I'm about them coins.
Yeah. But some stuff I'm not going to do.
But some stuff I'm not going to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. I absolutely agree.
Someone asked the other day, would you sleep in the cemetery for $1 million?
And you said
yes.
So that you would do. That ain't nothing, because you can sleep anywhere.
Like, yes, I sure will. But I'm like, I gotta come with my covering. But and I think out of the 4 people, it was 2 yeses and 2 nos.
If they let me sleep where my mama at, I could sleep there because it feel like a park. If I could choose the cemetery,
I ain't gotta choose. Write me that $1 million check. I'm gonna be in there talking to Spears. Everybody gonna be like, "That girl is crazy." Yes, with her $1 million. Yes,
that is people. That dollar, so that almighty dollar, is something serious.
do you think that it's the root of all evil, like they say?
The root of all evil? No, I think that your mindset about it, because I don't even want to say, I don't think it's the root of all evil. How you think, your thought process about it can make you evil. Because I'm sure you've read this about that scripture about it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven. But and when I read that, I was like, man, the parables that came with it made so much sense to me because I experienced them or witnessed them like here in the world. Like, wow, that's true. How people, are greedy or don't want to give up things or don't want to, So I think that if you make it an idol, it could be evil.
What does making something an idol look like to you? What does that mean?
That's all you think about. That's the most important thing that you think about. Talking about it all the time. When I even think like when I see people that got to pull out all their money all the time, like you got a stack of money, like, and you got to pull it all out to peel off $10, like that type of thing, to being showy with it. That seems like idol worship to me with money. I would even say, um, you know, like a lot of people get off into like the betting and stuff like that because that money be, you know, that could be part of making it like a idol to me. But I think that of course, we need it to survive, and we want nice things, and we want to be taken care of. You need the money, but I don't know if I said this to you before. Like, it's something that I generally never worry about or don't like it. It may come a time where I'll be like, I think I'm coming up a little short or whatever, and let me think about how I'm gonna handle this or something. But I literally don't let it be the all to everything, and everything it works out. So, but I know somebody that's extremely close to me that like that's all they talk about. That's all they, think about. It's like, I get this money. I gotta get this money. I gotta get this money. And it's like,
So do you ever share your views since it's someone close to you, or do you just listen to them and I got to get this money?
No, I share my views. I share my views. But when a person get a taste of a little money, that to me it's little because if you ain't ever had it, it's like, oh, I got to get more. I got to get more. Then I share my views. Like, it's energy. It's gonna keep coming to you. You don't have to think about it or talk about it all the time. It's gonna, you know, you gotta do your work, but it's gonna come to you. So, but
do you feel like we all have things that we talk about all the time though? Because when I think about like my interactions, everybody has a topic that I feel like
They
is
talk about
always in rotation. And I
absolutely
don't necessarily look at it as
an idol.
idol.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think that.
Because like parents, you know, a lot of
Yeah,
time you go out with the parent and they talk about their kids and stuff like that, or their job. You know, it may not be the literal money, but something on how to get money.
yeah, okay. Um, so you're not particularly talking about a money topic, just anything that they talk about all the time.
Yes, like because when you said, because when you was like the idol, something that you know that you focus on all the time, I wanted to see like what do you think about that, because I'm like, my son is constantly in my mind, and I know that my sister and our kids are constantly in my dad's mind, but I don't think that we're in the place of
I don't think
idolizing.
that. I don't think that. No, I don't think that that is. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it's the same thing. My kids be on my mind, but I don't think I talk about them to everybody all the time. No, I may talk about them to you. You know, but they're constantly on my mind too, and I think that's just a place of us wanting them to be okay in the world.
Yeah. I just
But
was thinking about it. Sorry to cut you off, because I think about like sometimes you have a certain person, you know, like I said in the bucket. So
you don't
that's a
have
family
you
person
don't have
bucket,
ego when it
where it's
comes
not
to
necessarily just the fact that you talk about it
yeah,
makes it.
but you don't have ego with as relates to thinking about your son. When I think about like I don't work with money, like I said, somebody who's showing off, somebody who's um like puffed up, if that makes sense with it, um uh arrogant. You know, arrogance don't come with your parenting.
I like a little arrogance.
In what way?
Like that's a quality that
And
my future husband needs to have.
I think that
He
is it you like a little arrogance or a little confidence?
I like a little arrogance. Like I need you to be confident, but I need that little arrogant with it too. So it's just like,
What's
yeah.
little? What's little
I don't know now how necessarily
to
to
describe
describe
it?
it, but he definitely needs to have that as a quality.
Because I had a lot of arrogance, and baby,
Yeah, that's definitely
is that? Do
because
you feel like you a little arrogant?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And he need.
Describe what arrogance look like to you.
Let me think. I get along with some arrogant people. Arrogance, I guess there's levels to it, just like anything, though. Like if you're saying you're a little arrogant, I probably can pinpoint where you mean that little bit, because you don't want nothing. You like nice stuff, and you like I want the best of the best for me.
And see, I don't put mine with stuff. I feel like even if I had nothing, I
So
am still the baddest bitch in the room.
so it's more of a mindset.
Yes.
Okay, so the
And it
mindset.
gives that aura off like,
Am I a little arrogant?
I don't know. I'm like, my initial thing was no, but I'm like, are you? Like, I don't know. You, you, you might be.
You was about to say no and you changed it. Like
Yeah, because I
you
had to
admitted
really think about it. Like, you know what? Yeah, you might be.
you literally was about to say no. You was like, no, I don't know. Like
Yeah, I had to start thinking about some examples
I'll say
running through my head.
I will say this: if I have a little arrogance about me, which I probably do, I think it came later in life after being healed. I don't think there was an arrogance about me before then, because everything. I don't think you could be a people pleaser and be arrogant, if that makes sense. So a little arrogance.
I think that you can.
Be a people pleaser.
Yeah, I think you can be a people pleaser because, like, for me, my people was my family. but I still had that touch of arrogance with me, and people around me associated my arrogance with the things that I own, but they didn't know that shit just brought it out because
I,
it was who I was
but
in the
can I say?
core.
But can I say this? When I think about your family, all y'all got a little arrogance.
Yes, it run through.
That's
through
like
and
that's
through.
like to say like the people pleasing with your family. I can see that, but that same level of arrogance you have, every single one of y'all that I know, even not even the immediate, has that arrogance.
Yes.
And
And my mama and daddy had it from
yeah,
both sides.
yeah. See, my mama had it, but my daddy ain't. He ain't really got no arrogance. I don't think about him. He just so gullible and nice and friendly. And well, not gullible now, because he could be a little mean, but yeah, when I that people pleasing with your family, like all of you, but all of you had it, have it. So yeah. So arrogance looks it's
I
levels
think
to
I think it's levels to it. I think it's levels with everything, and I think it looks different for everybody. Because to me, I don't know if you've ever seen them clips where Russell talks about Sierra, how he prayed for a woman who shift the room when she
it.
walked
Yes, I've
in.
seen that. Yeah,
So mine is similar, but my shift looks like arrogance because I ain't trying to be like no kind of way, but it's certain people that's not gonna shift the room for me. You see what I'm saying? Even though they may shift the room for somebody else,
yeah,
our shifters look different.
yeah, yeah.
But that's what's gonna shift my room. That man coming in like,
So I think you will like the same or a little bit more of an arrogance that you have when it comes to a man.
um, yeah, the same, not a little bit more.
Because I've had levels of ego. Like I'm that, and it'd be like your mind saying ain't even the arrogance you're talking about, the Russell arrogance, because he get called a cornball, but the Russell arrogance, and he's not. I could live with that. I could live with that type of that small, and not making it small, but I'm just saying where you're not where your ego is not inflated to the point where you just that some I think it turns to being narcissistic at a level of some point where you're not just a gentleman with it, you're a butthole with it, and I can't do. Mm-mm, no. But the arrogance you're talking about, as soon as you described it, I'm like, oh yeah, I see that with your fat, and it's not a bad thing. I like that. Yeah.
I think, because it kind of coincides with, like you said, the confidence in beginning, but I feel like the arrogance has that little bit more cocky to it.
I know somebody in my family that got it in my house. I don't know if you got it from me, but yeah. Cocky arrogance where you are confident and can take care of business. I think that if you're arrogant in that level and you don't know how to take care of business, then it turns into something else. It's not arrogant. You just, you know, you gotta know how to handle business, which you know
I'm
how to
like,
do.
how I be like, I'm like, I want to look up the definition
Of
of arrogant.
arrogance to make sure we're using the correct
Because I'm
word.
like, I always be like that. This is why I sleep with a dictionary.
Yeah, that's me. Always looking up a word or a term to make sure that I'm
Arrogant, disposed to exaggerate one's own worth or importance as shown especially by excessively confident or rudely dismissive behavior. Exactly what I thought, exactly a quality that I possess. Yes.
What's that last
The
part
other
say?
part says showing offensive attitude of superiority. I think that that's the part that you're referring to. Definition number 2. One said shown especially by excessively confident or rudely dismissive behavior.
I can agree to that. Then yeah, excessively confident, um, or dismissive behavior, yes. But the other one, the second one, that's what
I
I don't,
think that that's what, when you refer to the previous.
Because I think that the level of confidence is something that I definitely would want in a partner. I don't want you to be like have a insecure, because you could say some arrogance shows insecurities, you know, and that's what I think I've experienced, like more insecurities rather than you're really just confident. You don't have to go above and beyond with this thing. You could just be who you are, and it will be more attractive because you don't have to, you know, have your ego stroke to a level 10,000 because you are sure who you are. Now you got to prove to everybody else who you are, because I think that's the small, and not making it small, but I'm saying the minimal amount of arrogance that you're talking about is you're just confident who you are when you walk in the room. You don't have to
I don't need compliments.
Yeah, you don't need compliments.
I don't need anybody to say anything to me. I just own who I am.
Yeah, and the arrogance that I've experienced is I need compliments. I need everybody to know I'm here. I need to be the loudest. I need to be the showboat. I need to be, you see me, here I am. Or, I talk louder than everybody. Everybody, I'm here. Just that part is like, yeah, you're arrogant. And it's too much. Yeah, I want that quiet arrogance. Okay, so I guess I do want a little arrogance in my man.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little arrogant man. Call me.
Did you say call me? Yeah, because I think the experiences that I've had have made me think I do not want nobody arrogant, but there's levels to it, just like with everything else. There's levels to it. Actually, I did date somebody who had that little arrogance. Now that I'm thinking about it, I talk about that person often. But yeah, he had a level of
little
arrogance.
Quiet storm,
yeah,
arrogance
a little quiet storm, confident, not loud, was assured of who he was, assured of himself, not the loudest in the room, and would just sit back and let me, be who you are. Not try to make me shrivel down to, you're taking, not making me feel like I'm taking up his space. You know what I'm saying? Like we both here, we both enjoy it. But yeah, he did have a little arrogance to him that was, actually, I think that I almost was uncomfortable with it at first because I wasn't used to that. I was so used to the big arrogance that I wasn't sure of what that was. So it was more like, this is a little weird, but now that we're talking about it, I can think back like, no, it actually wasn't, because I was used to showboats and loud mouths. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for explaining that. I
I enjoy it. I enjoy a good dictionary moment.
A good dictionary moment. Yeah. But that don't make but going back to the idol thing, I don't believe, because I don't remember how we got to that, but I don't think that what you talking about with your son, or people being on your mind all the time, I don't think that makes that idol worship. I think that's just parenting in general. I don't.
It's definitely something that over the years I have struggled with, and I've definitely been in prayer about, because I love my son wholeheartedly, but I never want to be where I love him more than I even love myself. And that's when I think something becomes like an idol type situation. Like, if I'm on it before I love myself, then it's a problem, because my God is within me. So me and him like this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I gotta be locked in with him and myself to be on the right path, not putting whatever else first. So sometimes when you watch your kids struggle, you can fall into that sunken place, is what I like to call it, where that becomes something that you're like super hyper focused on.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in those situations, I'm just like, I am not trying to make him my God, but my love is so strong as a mother. How do I separate the two?
Mm-hmm.
And I read scriptures, and I think of, I believe it was Solomon, when the one said that it was her son that died, but it wasn't her son that died. What is that story in the Bible? And when they was just like, oh, okay, we'll go kill the boy or whatever, the one mother was just like, that's my son. And then they knew that the other lady was lying.
Ah, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
So
I know the story.
Reading that
Yeah.
reminded me that the love that I have.
Did you hear that bird?
Yes, the love that I have is okay. And in addition to that, it's other scriptures where they talk about the woman was seeking out to have the demons removed from their child.
Mm-hmm.
So that brought me comfort to understand, you know what? You can love your son immensely, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong or that it's an idol, because I feel like, and I'm about to jump to a whole different thing, kind of like back with the money, like thinking about the clips where we saw about like Michael Jackson wanting to like be the best. Sometimes we're taught that that's like an ego and we shouldn't want the best.
Yeah. But his didn't come up. But his, I'm sorry to cut you off, but his, I took similar to what you were saying about you being a little arrogant. I didn't take that as him being arrogant because.
But at the core of it, if you didn't know him,
yeah, that's what you would
that
admit.
statement people would frown upon.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
When it's just like, why are we like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Jordan came in here and said that same thing, you might look side eye, but what would make it okay for Michael Jackson to say it versus Jordan Banks? Because they both humans. So I feel like we have been conditioned from slavery. You know what I'm saying? To think lesser of ourselves
and put ourselves not down, but
yeah, because it's always like you got to be humble. You got to be humble, but the definition of that is to think low of oneself. And I'm like, I'm never gonna be humble. I'm gonna be up under God and follow that, but I'm never about to think low of myself.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So I just feel like, you know, unfortunately.
Do you think that when we say I don't want to think low of myself, that there's still a level of action how you behave though?
Yeah, I definitely think it's an action of how you behave, but I still don't think it's anything wrong if you want to be the greatest makeup artist alive. If you want that to be your legacy, like, what do we want as an individual? Not what we want for our kids, not how we want to brag on our kids. What do we want? And it's like at the core of it, I think when the ego comes in, is it like you use the term puff you up, or is it a reminder of God blessed me with this gift? And I feel like the world deserves to see it and heal from it versus I got this gift and I'm trying to get out here, want everybody to know me, and I'm trying to get some money and buy all the cars and buy all the houses with no recognition of who gave me this gift.
Because we leave him out.
Yes. Because I don't want to, I'm okay no matter the circumstances, but it's nothing wrong with if I want to desire a lakefront home. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, I'm idolizing.
But you don't, but you can, but I know you want to live by it. That's something that I know personally about you. I'm sorry, I hit the mic. That I know personally about you. But I don't think you make it an idol because just because I know it don't mean because you don't say it or act this certain way all the time. That's something that you desire, you wish for yourself, and that's it. That's not something that you be like, I'm about to have late for how you don't do that all the time. Now, if we bring it up, you may be like, because when I live by that water, you'll say that.
But this is because you know me as a person. So back to like the judging, we can see somebody that we really don't know
Do
and
that.
they do that and we like may side eye them.
Right. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I feel like we need to come from that because we all need to encourage ourselves to get whatever we want that regulates our nervous system.
Yes.
Because at the core, that's what it is. Like when you be like, my broke don't look like your broke, it's what regulates my nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even about, because all of this is energy, currency.
Mm-hmm.
The money gonna come and go. My nervous system can be regulated with 0 in my account if I got everything that I need and want. But when I want to get something and I have 0, then my nervous system is not regulated. So then I feel broke and broken. But you know, I think at the core of it is people really need to realize, or I shouldn't say realize, look at like what regulates you. What keeps you in that place? Is it prayer? Is it the gambling? You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you need to really reassess your joys of life. And I think that's when it becomes like the idol type.
That's what I actually been thinking about a lot lately because my focus for the last 20 years have been my children. So I have thought about like what you said, like do I make my children my idol? Because literally everything has revolved around my children, even if as they have gone into young adulthood. I've done things for myself, but when I think now, like what this next season of my life, what is it going? What do I want for me? That's what I've been trying to, come to terms with. What do I want for me? And what that used to look like was like a relationship, a really good, happy, loving relationship, marriage, all that. And it don't look like that for me anymore. No, it don't look like that. That's not even something that I like desire. Like I'm not like, oh, I don't want one. No, if it happens, it happens. I'll know, but I really want to know, or find what it is I want for me. And I've been, having some ideas, and I'm excited about whatever that is, but I don't want anything to become an idol. I think that I believe the things that's been successful for me have been that way because I looked at everything that I've done, even my business as ministry. This podcast, my makeup business, whatever I've done, I've looked at it as, ministry. And a lot of times people feel like ministry has a certain definition.
What's your definition of it?
My definition of it is a church without walls. No. But it's more so wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, whoever I'm with, when that conversation or that moment, whether we're talking or whatever, if it's peaceful, if it's regulating nervous systems, whatever it is, that's ministry for me. So whether I'm sitting here talking to you or like this morning, I was at home and me and my children, we were sitting in the living room. None of us were talking. I was sitting there. I would think I was just looking at them. My son was scrolling on his phone. It was quiet. My daughter, I had bought them this cabinet. She actually started building the cabinet and she was humming a song. And, she likes to listen to me. She said, I need some music playing. But instead of turning on music, she was humming a song. and it just felt peaceful. That's ministry for me. For having, like, nobody's yelling, nobody's fighting.
A still water.
Yeah,
That's your ministry, like the calmness.
The calmness of whatever situation, wherever I am. Even when I get ready to do a client, and most time I'm talking to my clients, we having a great conversation. It's never like messy. It's just they may leave there and we both feel uplifted. But there's some moments where I have a client come in and there's no talking, and I can discern that this needs to be a moment of just quiet.
I really like all my services to be no talking.
Really?
Yes. I do not be wanting to talk.
Yeah.
But
But you can, but if you tune into who walks in the room, like I always try to
I think my energy causes the person to tune
talk
in and want to talk. Yeah. When I'm just be like,
yeah,
we in a session.
Yeah. I literally have people that walk in, turn their phones off and lay down and be like, this is my time. And they talk the whole time. I don't say nothing. And they'll lay there and just talk.
I like how you said that you feel like you've been in ministry, you know, for years, because I feel like for me, becoming pregnant at 18, that I have just been in survival, not necessarily a ministry being at the head of my life like it is now. Mm-hmm. I think prior to like the most recent, maybe 4 or 5 years, it's definitely just been survival, doing basic things for what I thought was enjoyment. And not that I don't like to be outside, because I like to be outside. Mm-hmm. Be outside. But I also know what at the core makes me happy when you say ministry, where before I think I've just been in basic survival, you know, mode and living life on how I thought it was supposed to be lived, how we're trained. You know, you go to work, you do this, you take care of your family, you do vacations, like whatever. But it's like, that's not really
the basic routine of what we think life is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in that mode for a long, long time. You get a job, you go to work, you come home, you have this whole cycle of, you know, and my shoulders didn't feel relaxed, sadly, until it wasn't like it came all the way down. It was like levels to my shoulder, like going down. It started when I got divorced.
Father's Day was this past Sunday. Mm-hmm. Do you wish him a happy Father's Day?
Yeah, we took him out on Monday.
Your ex-husband?
Oh, you talking about him?
Yeah. You said when I got divorced.
About my daddy.
When you got divorced,
I'm sorry.
That's what
I'm sorry. You were talking about fathers, and I went straight to my daddy.
Yes, that's so. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't know that was a tradition that y'all did.
Oh no. I was a couple of years ago, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, when and maybe it's further than that, when my healing journey really started. For real. Like people say I'm healing, but when it really started, I actually made a complete Happy Father's Day post to him on social media. And I was like, he probably ain't gonna see this, but you know, I appreciate him for, you know, whatever he do. We don't be on one accord about like everything, but you know, he's been in their life, and you know, a lot of people cannot say that. You know, I appreciate
people.
Yeah. So I did make a post, and I think my son actually showed it to him. He didn't call and say thank. We just don't do that. He's never said Happy Mother's Day to me, and I don't even feel no type of way about it. I've seen where people have said, as much as I do for these children, I do everything, and he don't say it. On Mother's Day, I look forward to spending time with my kids and them telling me Happy Mother's Day, maybe, and that's it. But when you went to saying, did I say Happy Father's Day?
Yeah, that was funny.
I went straight to my daddy.
Yes, I was like, wait, what? You was talking about the divorce?
I was like,
how the shoulders went down from the divorce,
and I thought you was changing subjects.
I'm like, sort of, kind of was, but wrong person.
But no, I don't, because I'm not really about being fake. I mean, we're not friends. Some people are friends with their exes or their co-parent partner or whatever. We're not friends. I wish him, well. I don't wish any harm on him, but I'm not about to, I don't think he think the thing about me. We're not about to be fake like we friends. Like, oh, I'm just calling to wish you a happy. No, that's for his children to do that, and I don't even ask them. Did you tell your father Happy Father's Day? No, that they're old enough to have their own relationship with both of us. And that's if it's absolutely something that we need to talk about, but we even now getting out of that because we only got one child that we have to, and that child will be 18 in a couple months, and then I'll see you at the wedding.
Okay.
So,
see you at the wedding.
And that's not anything bad, but yeah, it's just, yeah, my shoulders started relaxing when I got divorced. And they was up here and you don't even know, you feel tense. And then it go down a little bit. Then you hit another level of healing. Then it go down a little bit more. You hit another level and they go down. And now I'm at a place where
I want people to recognize their health, because when you said you don't know, you feel tense, your body tells you.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't recognize it. They run straight to the doctor
mm-hmm.
and get medication for whatever. And I ain't trying to knock no doctors.
Mm-hmm.
For real, maybe a little. But I feel like if we are more in tune with the shifts in our body and connected it with our day-to-day lifestyle and things that are going on in our life, that could open us up for more healing overall, because everything is not just from a medical aspect.
Yeah. I mean, I like you say, listen to your body. Like this morning, I hadn't eaten bacon in a long time. I bought some bacon the other day.
Man, have you ever been to Atkins Barbecue? It's
no.
It is on Southfield Road.
I've seen it.
I ain't doing no commercial for y'all, but that bacon that they have
is good.
It looks so good. I gave meat allegedly for the summer.
I'm cracking up.
So allegedly. I'm like, I just was looking at it on Sunday, drooling.
Yeah, I ate some bacon this morning, and after I ate it, because I generally I don't fry foods or anything. I'm not saying I eat the healthiest, because I mean, look at me, I'm not like the most skinny, but I ate some bacon this morning. After I ate it,
skinny does not equate to being healthy. That's my disclaimer and disclosure.
True. Well, after I ate it, I was like, I don't know if I should have ate that. It probably was a little too salty for me.
Ooh, that's what I miss. I love that.
And so I sat down for like an hour after that, because I was listening. I was sitting there actually listening to my body like, that probably was a little much.
Yes, because your body will speak to you. But I'll be talking and I'll be like, girl, if you don't shut up, because we swallowing these chips. Can you take me to the store after this?
Yes. We still love our snacks.
Listen, I've been struggling. Yesterday, I did DoorDash specifically for a cookie tote.
Oh my God.
And I got fries too and the Coke. So I was geeked up. Like, I got 2 orders of large fries because I'm a fatty. I was geeked up. Why they forgot my cookie tote?
Because you ain't need it.
And I was just like, for real, God, like, this what we doing now? This what we doing?
That's so funny.
Planning my snacks.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
was just like, I knew I didn't need it, but Lord knows I wanted it. And I started to text you, like, do you have time to stop at McDonald's on your way to get a cookie tote?
Oh my God. Hey man, I'm just saying, like I listen to like right now, every time I go to the doctor and I was talking about my shoulders being up and be relaxed, and they, the first thing they always do is check your blood pressure. And I always be like thinking on my way there, like, I wonder if my blood pressure gonna be high. Because it's just you just don't really be knowing all the time. And every time they tell me, oh, it's normal, I be looking like, really?
It was so funny.
I do. I'm like, really? Because I'm like, it was times like going through the divorce that I thought my blood pressure was going to be sky high. And every time I went, it was like, it's normal? Like, okay, God, thank you. Like, for real. This morning it's probably high, it's probably down 9, but after I ate that bacon.
That's that.
After I ate that bacon.
That
But yeah, I
bacon.
listen to my body, I listen to my health, and, you know, ministry is whatever I'm doing that brings peace, that's still waters, that's me talking about God, or me just talking positive to somebody. Somebody pouring it to me, I'm pouring it to somebody, or we just, still, I can say honestly right now, there are a minimal amount of people that get on my nerves in my life compared to what it's been in the past. Like one hand, maybe 3 fingers, you know. So because I've literally learned to release and let stuff and people go. And I think that's important for us in life. Like if you want to be healthy in your body, you gotta, and it's hard with family.
Is it? Why do you believe it's hard with family?
I often wonder about my cousins who have went no contact with our family. Specifically one that completely went no contact, even with people that she got along with. And I often wonder, because I think that if family bring her up, it's probably like, in a semi-negative way, like she just don't talk to nobody. But I think she's probably at the most peace she's probably been at in her life because of her reasons why. And I can't pinpoint her exact reasons. I think I have a little idea of some of her reasons, but I think her love for herself, like you was talking about, you gotta have love for yourself more than
That's why I asked you the question,
yeah.
because when you love yourself, I personally don't believe it's hard to let anybody go. Because if I love myself so much, I'm not going to be in any relationship that's doing a disservice to me,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of if you're a blood relative or not. Like I can speak to this firsthand for the short period of time when I went no contact with my sister. It was just like, I'm not doing this anymore, for my reasons. And now today, our relationship has shifted where that whole sisterhood that I believe my mother always wanted us to have, I believe that we're working on that now. But
Mm-hmm.
that would not have happened if I didn't honor myself first.
Mm.
That cycle that we were in would have continued. And I'm using cycle loosely. I just mean like the dynamics of that relationship.
Yeah.
It would not have changed if I didn't make any changes. Because we both, are growing, and you grow differently. And then when you are growing and it looks different than someone else grows, sometimes you become unaligned. And some relationships still work like that, but some don't.
As the trash can man is here, and then we talk about taking out the trash.
Yeah, sometimes you literally have to
Yeah.
take out the trash. Like I say, for me, I need to know, and this is not like I'm using anybody, but I know what I offer. I know when I speak, I am speaking wisdom. I know this. This can be the confident, arrogant, whatever, but that's a fact. So I know that I'm
Yes.
not giving that to everybody. And if I'm not receiving something, then I'm unaligned and I'm just giving my energy out, depleting myself and becoming sick physically.
I believe and know that about you, truthfully. And from what I experience, family, friends, past friends, whatever, a lot of people believe that they are wise and speak like that, and it's not that. There is a difference when you are speaking from a place of wisdom, because you also can receive. You can receive.
I always want to receive because that's the only way you become wise. You have to receive in order to become wise.
And you'll
wisdom
listen.
Comes with time. So I'm listening, I'm receiving, I'm reading, I'm taking accountability. I'm just not pointing the fingers. I'm not puffing myself
and
up.
You're not copying something else.
Exactly.
You're not copying what others are doing.
Yeah. Sometimes there are similarities and things because that just happens. That's the nature of it. You know what they say, nothing's new under the sun. But I definitely believe that I try to be authentically me. And I have experienced masking, and I noticed the more I stop, that's when there's been the shift in my relationships, which led that with my sister, because before I was okay with constantly pouring, it's about you, it's about you. But then it's like the one time I need it to be about me, you don't show up. That was my like, okay, this is it. I cannot give if I can't receive too. Like I need to be give, receive, give, receive. These scales need to balance, and it doesn't have to be equal, but I feel like the equal as in like the tit for tat, but I feel like the scales have to be level. And my scale was always where it was just like I'm down here. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to talk to anybody where I feel drained and depleted. And not all the time am I saying I felt like that in my relationship with my sister, because I didn't. I love her and always want the best for her and was always hands down giving her the best advice. But what I realized that this version of me want people that can support me the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
And support, my standard.
Support, explain support, because a lot of times I believe that our generation feel like support is something different from what it really
and I think support is different for everybody. And I was going to say, like, I hold my sister at a higher standard because she is my sister. She doesn't know her life without me. I know mine without her. Mm-hmm. She don't know hers without me. Mm-hmm. So it has to be some type of more respect there for my feelings, I feel, versus me just understanding my baby sister. So for me, what I need is, and I need something different for everybody. For my sister, if I'm coming to you and I'm hurt and I'm distraught about something with my son, I need you to show up. Mm-hmm. I need you to show up in any way possible, because you are his only auntie that he knows of. Mm-hmm. I don't know if his daddy got brothers and sisters. I don't know if he out there celebrating Father's Day when he ain't been a father until 20-something years old. You know what I'm saying? He ain't cutting no checks. He didn't put nobody through college. Mm-hmm. I digress. But what I'm saying is, so that's what I need, from her. I need that. I know you ain't got no car and I live a mile away. I'm about to go do this. Do you need me to do something for you? I need those type of things. Whereas my requirement for one of my friends, like, it may look totally different. And that's why I say everything is not equal. Mm-hmm. But as my sister and as me being there, where at one point I was like a second mom to your daughter, mm-hmm. and I'm in a crisis with my son, you need to be there, period. And that was my deal breaker, where it was just like, okay, I'm done. And I personally feel like God has put me through so many different things, my long suffering, to be able to tell people the other side of the story from personal experiences. Some of my experiences that I talk about are shared and learned experience from others through their story. But this is my own experience of learning how to pick myself first. It ain't got nothing to do with no man. It ain't got nothing to do with me even picking my son first. But when he's in, all our kids at some point need us. That's just a given. And sometimes you don't have all the tools and you need to go seek them out. So when I'm seeking out the professional tool, and that professional tool ends up being my sister, and you can show up for me, this is a problem. But God had been showing me all along certain things where it's just like, you need to speak up. You need to speak up. It shouldn't have gotten this far. But during that period of no contact, I can't say that I miss my sister, because my sister wasn't pouring into me for her to be missed. So when people go no contact with their family, I respect that and I commend them, because I feel like on their end, they're doing this because there's something that they need that they're not receiving. And I firmly believe that we should not hold, even though I said I held my sister to a higher standard, I feel like everybody in our lives, we need to assess them in whatever way that works for us.
Yeah.
And if you're not meeting that, then I need to figure it out, because this is when you carry stuff in your body. All that weight ain't just from eating. We coming on the close.
I'm gonna say this real quick about my cousin that's no contact, because I didn't understand it, and I was one of those people that judged for a long time. But now within this last year, I understand more and more of why she did it.
What do you think helped you understand it more and more? And I say that weight thing, I want to double back on that, because I have watched between last year and this year, I have watched my weight fluctuate, where I got during that time with my sister, and
did it go
up?
I
went through like the my psychosis episode. I got all the way down to 170 pounds. Now I'm back to 200. But when you look at me, you might not even be able to tell that my weight fluctuates like that the way I carry it. But that was not from overeating and eating. This is
a lot of it is trauma. And a lot of people
don't realize that it's trauma. But I didn't forget. So what happened that made you?
Because it's I felt like that at times, like I wanted to go no contact. Because I think that one thing that my family,
so kind of like putting yourself in that,
literally put myself in that position, in her shoes.
My favorite thing to do.
You know, I'm a person now that wants people to take accountability. And I don't think that our family has taken accountability with her, with what she feels.
And you know what I want to say too, is that sometimes we think love is like showing up and being active and being around people. But people can be around you and not love you. Like even during that time, my love never wavered. When I love you, I love you.
Takesha, that's a perfect example of me and you. Like, if I know you love me and you know I love you, and there's been times where it was something going on that you ain't had a capacity to be there, or vice versa, and we just kept on moving. There was no attitude. One recently was it Gabby Prime, and but even with that, there was no, because I think we wanted you to do something or whatever, and it was just like, oh, I understand. I can't remember if you was not feeling it was,
Yeah, I had a, yeah, I
it was
did
a
not
bad
have the
day.
capacity.
Yeah, you
Yep.
was like I can't do it. But my thing that, and I'm using it as example to tell people that there was no attitude, there was no nothing like you ain't gonna come. We was depending on you. It's literally like, that's not something that we look at as love within our friendship. What I look at as love within most of my relationships with anybody is accountability. Is that somebody that I could talk to? Is that somebody that um, I could lean on? Somebody I could trust? Um, I can understand my cousin going no contact, and I'm sure she's probably never going to speak to anybody in our family, probably for the rest of her life. At this age where I don't know her exact age, but if I'm 50 and she's older than me, um, I believe that accountability is a big thing in the family and in the Black community. We sweep a lot of stuff under the rug that has traumatized people in the families. Nobody wants to give a sincere apology or a level of understanding to meet them to talk without an argument or place blame or judgment.
And that's what I really think is at the core, a level of understanding, because everything doesn't have to be a I'm sorry, I apologize, or I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, and I don't want my family who watch this to think that I think that I don't love them, because I've had moments where I wanted to go non-contact with everybody, literally. Like,
I think it's the understanding that you
yeah,
said. I really think it's that. I don't think it has anything to do with love. I think it's just sometimes we want to be respected in the way that we want it to be respected. We
well,
don't,
yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
disregard my feelings to accommodate somebody
yeah,
else.
that part. I don't want to disregard my feelings. I want to love me first. And I want you to understand that I love me first. And I also want you to love you first without it being a level of feeling disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can come to that, uh, you know, my cousin didn't have any children. That's another reason why I got kids that got cousins and aunties and uncles. And, if I went no kind, I'm thinking like, how would I be, you know, your son is older and your son actually
But I've had no contact situations with my family
when he was younger.
in my lifetime where I feel like there was times where I was outcasted. My family still did what they did.
Yeah.
Like,
I think my daughter definitely would be a person to be like, I'm with you. I get it, and be just fine with it. My son is a lover of everybody and everywhere, and so I think he would probably have struggled. But like I said, I've worked through it mainly. But I think as I get older, they're still they understand I don't answer the phone. You call me, I'm really not going to answer, because if you don't call me like generally ever to just see how I'm doing, or you know send a text and say, hey, I'm thinking about you, something like that, then what when I answer this phone, what's going to be on the other end? So I put myself in her shoes, and I've said, oh, I get it, because you have been traumatized probably beyond whatever, and it's probably beyond repair, because nobody has taken accountability for your pain, and she's made, I'm sure, peace with that. So I get it. I absolutely understand. So where you just want your friends to be your family and that's it, because I'm sure she's created a whole other family for herself. It ain't like she alone.
mm-hmm.
She's very social. She's very, outgoing. She's created another entire family for herself that I think she's made peace with. So and when we have tried to contact her, it has been threats, because like, if you're not calling her to say, you know what, I understand, and I'm I'm sorry for my part, even if I wasn't a part of it. I'm sorry for. Why would she want to hear from you? Why would we contact her without saying, you know what, I put myself in your shoes, and I don't know everything that's caused you pain, but I want you to know that you don't ever have to talk to me again. But I want you to know I'm sorry for
Whatever role you
whatever
played.
role I played in the situation. I'm sorry for that. So yeah, I get it. So that was a deep conversation towards the end. It was deep the whole time, but that was a great conversation. I don't think we've ever talked about arrogance we talked about trauma, but the level of arrogance that we will want in a partner or that we should have in ourselves to go in no contact with people. So thank you. You have anything else?
No, ma'am.
We want y'all to watch, listen, subscribe, share. Hey, we got people here that I know is viewing, but y'all don't never comment. And it's okay, as long as we're getting that message across. And I know we're getting across because when I see you, be like, oh, y'all was talking about this. I had somebody come over my house the other day that I had no idea ever watched this. And when she walked in my house, she hadn't been there since I read that. She said, oh, this is where you do your podcast. It's like, I was getting ready to do her daughter makeup. And I said, yeah, you watched it? She was like, yeah. Surprisingly. So I'm just glad the message is getting
surprise.
Yeah, I'm just happy that the message get out, whether you watch every week or not. But we hope you tune in every week. And we will see you all next week.